Dr. Prafulla Agnihotri. It's a pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the People Management. We're going to have a short conversation and we have a few questions which we'd like to ask you, which can go to all the readers of the People Management. So, sir, you are the director at IIM Sirmaur. It is one of the premier institutes in India, being an IIM. How far, in your view, has IIM Sirmaur grown as a center of excellence in different aspects of management education since the time of its establishment?
If you see, IIM Sirmaur is just 8 years old, and during these 8 years, we have done a lot of activities. For a new IIM, the biggest task is to create its own campus. Our campus is almost ready, and hopefully, next 3 or 4 months' time, it would be inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister. That will be one of the biggest achievements. The second is on academic fronts, we are recruiting more and more number of faculty members. We have 39 faculty members right now, and we have even recruited an international faculty in IIM. There are very few international faculty members teaching in any of the IIMs, and she would be joining from 1st of October. We have international tie-ups with business schools abroad. Objective is that we should make the students aware of the cross-cultural interactions and cross-cultural learnings, okay, by which they become a good global manager in the years to come. We have established certain centers of excellence who are doing research in that dedicated area, and that would not only contribute to academic, but also would contribute to the industrial development. We are also working on some industry specific activities. Just to give an example, we are surrounded by some pharmaceutical companies. Now, one of the centers of excellence that we have done in healthcare management have received a huge project from one of the pharmaceutical companies over there to study those specific problems related to diabetes. And my faculty members are researching on that. Another example is that one of my faculty members has received a huge research grant from Ministry of Tourism, central government, okay, for studying and advising the ministry on promotion of wildlife tourism in India. So these are some of the activities that we are doing. Our students are also excelling in different activities. Regularly, if you see the placement graph of the institute is growing up, that is an indication that the institute is arriving on the national front, and the students of IIM Sirmaur are being accepted more and more by more and more professional companies.
So there is a need for industry academia partnerships to hire, quality, fresh talent from campuses. What is your advice to the industry experts or HR leaders for hiring, such people, and what kind of strategies should be put in place?
I really appreciate this question because management education, if you see, it always follows the industrial development. Industry is 1 or 2 steps ahead of management schools, business schools. Okay, we learn from the industry and try to offer them in the classroom. And therefore, I always say it's a circular process. The input to the academia comes from the industry, and output of academia goes back to the industry. And therefore, it's a process of give and take. The industry must understand this and cooperate with the management education or business schools, okay, so that they could offer them the latest knowledge. We approach industry, and many of these companies are supporting us for writing case studies, for offering live projects to our students. Okay, when the students who study that project and work with the managers in the company, as well under the supervision of the faculty members of IIM Sirmaur, and would solve that problem for for the industry. Look at the advantage for the students in that case. Students get to learn a lot about the practical aspects of management education. On the other hand, the HR and the company also comes to know the behavior of the students, the knowledge pattern of the students, the thinking pattern of the students, and can even think of recruitment from that point. If you have a longer association with the business school, okay, your hiring for the HR also becomes easier. It can be far more conscious and deliberate decision, a learned decision, than just at the spur of the moment that you take after conducting just an interview of 30 to 35 minutes. and both the parties, the industry and academia, would stand to gain by that.
Okay. Finally, sir, final question is, what are the key challenges in Indian higher education at various levels? You serve various, different institutes. What are your expectations from the government in terms of policy? So it's in two parts: key challenges in Indian higher education and expectation in terms of policies.
If you see Indian higher education sector is divided into different tiers. There are tier one schools like IIMs and IITs, okay, and other business schools. Then there are key prominent schools from private sectors, okay, who are also doing very well, and they can be considered as top 20 or top 25 business schools in India. And then there are all others, wherein there are institutes run by or affiliated to universities are concerned, or other private universities are concerned, or deemed so-called deemed to be universities are concerned, and other business schools are concerned. Now, if you see these three tiers, the IIMs and IITs enjoy maximum autonomy, okay, and you have seen the performance. But if you see those university structure, they are already governed by a lot of regulatory forces. If those regulatory forces could be tweaked and some of these universities could be given more autonomy, I'm sure the quality of education would improve. Let me substantiate my point. Couple of years ago, one of the prominent schools attached to one of the universities had requested me to be a part of their syllabus review committee. And I was shocked to see a lot of things which were not there in real world. And they were still teaching. And they said, we have been teaching the same syllabus for last 15 years and therefore we are now reviewing it. Well, in IIMs, we review our course outlines every 3 years. We make it ab initio, make them new. Because we believe that perhaps that may not be the latest thing now. Or whenever the latest technique has been developed, for example, AI is a highly developing thing. My faculty members in IS group, in my information systems group, have developed a special course for that, and which was not there last year, but this is there this year. And that's how we make that syllabus dynamic. And it encompasses all the latest techniques that are happening in the real world, which we should ensure that they should be.
Any final point in terms of policies?
Uh, the one policy that is the MEP, which I really appreciate, which should have come long back, but I'm glad that at least it has come, and I'm sure the Indian education sector will benefit a lot, okay, by that. It has not only offered more autonomy and freedom to the educational institutes, but it has also given a liberty to the students to drop out, come back again, and complete their education in stages. So definitely, it's good for all the stakeholders. I really appreciate that, and I wish it should have come later.
Thank you so much, Dr. Agnihotri. Pleasure interacting with you. Once again, thank you on behalf of the Peter Management.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.